if a tree's this big around and you only cut a notch in it that far, on the back side of the tree, if you're trying to push it over, or even if you got one that you say is going to fall, you put that notch on the side of the tree you want it to fall in, but you don't cut back in the tree. The farther you cut back in the tree, the less you can control it.
Larry Biles, State Forester, Kansas Forest Service, and we are at Valley Falls, Kansas for the 15th Annual Forestry Field Day. And we are most thankful and pleased with a turnout of roughly 190 Kansas forest landowners at this program today.
My name is Wilfred Sinclair. I'm from Osawatomie, Kansas. We had a portable sawmill, and Dave Bruton, the Kansas Forest, come to our place 2000 or so, and he was the first one I met. He worked with us and helped us with our sawmill and marketing and stuff like that.
I'm Bob Atchison. I'm the Rural Forestry Coordinator with the Kansas Forest Service. Today we are at Danny Barrow's farm. The purpose of this field day is to provide a variety of outdoor educational sessions for natural resource professionals and for landowners who are interested in improving the quality of the natural resources on their property. Well, today we have 6 different concurrent sessions that will be going on. We'll be doing a session on direct seeding, which is basically planting forests with tree seed.
So right now is the time to be thinking about even a spring planting, is getting that site preparation done in the fall so it's ready to go in the spring.
We'll also be doing a session on sawmilling. We'll be doing a session on tree valuing appraisal for walnut logs, also processing those logs so people can understand how the quality on the stump transfers to a finished product. In addition to that, we've got a variety of other events. One will be a wildlife focus where we'll be looking at what wildlife biologists describe as edge, where prairie meets forest land. We'll be creating some wildlife habitat benefits by working in those areas today. Big focus of today, however, is associated with the role that riparian forests play with water quality.
Plus, one of the biggest things that happens to a stream system is, when we change the land use, we've also changed the way that water runs off in that system and being returned to the stream slowly over weeks to kind of as a bypass flow. Now the water runs off more directly and you have high peak flows, which has a lot of energy in the stream to erode stream banks. So one of the things we can do to really protect those areas is have a good riparian forest area alongside the stream to protect the stream banks, and then also wetland areas.
And specifically, one of the reasons we chose this site today is that this is located within the Delaware watershed, which feeds into Lake Perry. And one of the big issues we have right now in the state of Kansas is the loss of public water supply due to sedimentation of our federal reservoirs, which provide about both industrial and municipal water supply to 2/3 of the people of our state. So this is a significant issue, and though forest land is a small piece of this puzzle, it's an important one because of the research that substantiates how sediment is kept out of our streams by riparian forests during high flood events.
I'm Dan Barrow, and we're the owners of the property here where the field day is today. Well, we started in the timber business. Our connection with the Forest Service, I bought my first walnut trees when I was basically 14 years old in around 1966, and really started actively working in the timber and logging business. Started our own company in 73 or 74 and been producing logs and timber and ever since. So We've known a lot of people in the forestry department over the last 40 years. So
the Kansas Forestry Service provided the trees for me for the walnut tree plantation, and then since then I've put in some wildlife plantings that all came from Kansas State University Forestry Service, and so they've done a tremendous amount. And of course, one of my big benefits is the foresters, the district foresters, who then come out and helped and got my management plan established and keep that maintained and keeps me moving along on the things that need to be done in a timely fashion in order to keep the tree farm looking good.
In the state of Kansas, we have roughly 2.2 million acres of native forest. This land is mostly in the eastern 100 miles, although we do follow the tributaries clear to the western border. Our primary species is cottonwood, and you'll find that mostly on the major streams. We also have an abundant supply of ash, abundant supply of black walnut, and a couple of our oak species, hackberry, soft maple, and some of those. In addition, we have a great deal of interest right now in wood energy. We just completed a survey, and we have learned that we have 200,000 tons of woody debris in the state of Kansas on an annual basis. And in many cases, this is primary and secondary processing debris. And the way we label it is that debris is a burden to someone, and it's an opportunity for someone else. And to that, in that regard, we have 2 wood pellet plants that have just started up in the state of Kansas, utilizing debris coming in from primary and secondary processor. So there are many things on the Kansas forest horizon that we're excited about. Much of it is going to be amplified here today at this Forestry Field Day. And once again, most pleased and thankful that 190 of our Kansas forest owners are here today looking and learning.